Hi, I'm so excited for us to be worshiping in person together. There's so many things that are going to be different about it that I thought a little video would help us remember and sort of get ready for this coming Sunday. So I brought a few props with me into the church. I assume you have already figured out the first, which is this. Whenever you are here or across the street at Hyde, whenever you are with us for a service, you need to wear a mask. And you can take it off while you have communion, but then it has to go right back on. Because this is one of the best, easiest ways that we can love our neighbor so that we can slow and stop the spread, not only now of COVID, but also of the flu. So the first thing, wear a mask. The second is that when you arrive, you will be greeted by someone holding one of these, which I suspect you already know what this is too. It is not actually a ray gun. It takes your temperature, minus 96.5. This is a no-touch thing, but we are required to do this. And if you have a temperature over 100.2, we'll ask your whole party to go, because that is really, as you all know, one of the earliest presentations of COVID or the flu for somebody who's going to have symptoms. So somebody will scan your temperature and ask your whole party to go home if you're over 100.2 or over. So then somebody will, just like at a restaurant when you've made reservations, somebody will let you know where your area is. And by the way, I don't have a prop chair, but remember that you'll need to bring your own chairs. The reason for that is it reduces the amount of things that we're all touching. We will have a few extra chairs if you forget or if you don't have one at home. We'll have a few extra, but the whole idea of this is to minimize the amount of things that both we touch and you touch. So, someone, when you check in, will check your reservations and direct you to one of our cones. We have cones that are both purple and yellow, and they all have numbers, and somebody will direct your party to a particular cone to let you know where you all need to sit. And you need to sit clumped together by the cone so that between each group, there's enough space so that we are at least 6 feet apart from anyone else, even with the masks on. So that's what the cone is to remind us. The next thing, and possibly one of the most, different things is that you will each be given a bag, or it may be waiting at your cone for you. For right now, we're just calling this a worship bag. And what it has in it is your bulletins. So no one else will have touched these for several days, and they'll be in paper bags. So any COVID germs would not have survived. So you can feel confident that the bulletins you touch will be safe. So there will be bulletins for your family. And then there will also be these little communion cups. Now, this hasn't been consecrated. And so I thought what I would do is show you these things, because they're different, very, very different, and show you how to use them. So you see there's a wafer here, and then this part is filled with grape juice. It's not wine, it's grape juice. And there will be the number of these for everybody in your family. And when we get to the part of communion where we normally would come forward for communion, so I will say the gifts of God for the people of God, let us take them in remembrance that Jesus Christ died for us and feed on him in our hearts by faith with thanksgiving. Here's how you open them. There's a top level, and you pull it back, and there's your wafer. The bottom level is the one that's tricky. You have to bend up the foil and pull it back. And try not to squeeze it here on the bottom when you pull it back, or you will have a little volcano of grape juice. And you kind of have to pull it all the way back if you want to get all of it. I know this is going to be really different from how we usually do communion together. It may feel a little odd, but God is in this, and we're doing the best we can to come up with a way that we can all have communion that feels safe, that is safe as we can make it. I didn't bring a prop with me to show you, but this is just a reminder that there will be a temptation. I know I will be tempted to shake hands, to hug. Who am I kidding? I don't shake hands, I hug. But that isn't safe. So during the peace, we're not going to shake hands, we're going to bow. When people are coming in or leaving, you need to make sure that you don't linger, or that if you decide to talk with people or hang out on the playground for a while, if you have kids with you, that all people stay at least 6 feet apart unless they're in a household together. This is so important. I think it's one thing to wear a mask and use the bags and the little different kind of communion elements, but what's going to be hard is to not hang out together on the sidewalk or to hug one another. It's going to be really hard, and we'll get the hang of it. But in order to safely gather together, we need to practice keeping enough distance so that we stay healthy. We're hoping to be able to do these outdoor services all through the fall. You know, people gather outside for soccer games or football games or baseball games, huddled under jackets. We hope that we will be able to worship outside, cozy under blankets or jackets and hats and gloves to keep us safe. Just a caution, we won't have congregational singing. Even with a mask, it's really too risky. There are too many droplets that we expel while we're singing, even with a mask, so there won't be congregational singing. But we will have music and a soloist from the choir, and it will be beautiful. The rain plan, if we have to execute the rain plan will be to meet inside. And inside, we have marked off the pews with numbers, and when you come in with your reservation number, we'll let you know which pew you and your family will be sitting in. And I will show you the numbers. We may even put the cones on the pews just to keep the colors going. So the rain plan will be to come inside. Again, keeping your distance is so very important, and we will encourage family groups to scoot onto one end of their pew or another, keeping 2 empty pews between you and the next family group. On the morning, if you have registered for the service this Sunday or one of the other Sundays, before the service, so it might come Friday or Saturday or maybe even that Sunday, you may get a text from us reminding you to bring your chair, to bring your signed covenant, to remind you that if somebody in your party is sick, that all of you stay home, not just the person who's sick, but all of you, so that in case the person who's not feeling well is sick with COVID, it won't spread to the rest of us. We'll also text you to let you know if we've moved to our rain plan, so that if you're not comfortable coming inside, you can stay home and watch either the live feed or the recorded version. That if you can't come, if you decide someone in your family is sick, or you just at the last minute don't feel comfortable coming, it's okay. You will still be with us in heart. And you will be able to watch the service either live on our YouTube channel or by a recording, which we'll post later that day. Today is Thursday before the first of those services, and we're still working out a few live streaming issues. So there's a chance we won't actually have a live stream this weekend. If we don't have a live stream, we'll post it within an hour of when the service is over. And finally, this is something I say at every wedding rehearsal. It's not going to be perfect. We're not aiming to be the Kennedy Center. We are aiming to be real. And the ability to gather together and worship and take communion together, as strange as it will be to do it in a mask and with those little cups, it will be holy and it won't be perfect, but it will be real. And in fact, to my mind, it's the real things. It's the laughter, it's the mistakes, it's the vulnerability that actually makes it holy. So we hope to see you on Sunday, and bless you. It's grape juice. So if it gets on you, that means Jesus is going to be with you forever. But